what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we are back in the studio live with another video. All right, so we got to get into some things today. It's been a requested video, so I'm like, all right, let's get into it. But first, if you're a returning subscriber, then you know how this thing goes. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome and hello. Hello, motherfucker. All right, today's conversation is going to be Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma, why they will never be friends. I see a lot of people over the internet saying, could they be friends? Do you think it can work out? Remy Ma seems as though that, she's backtracking. She seems that she wants to be cool with Nicki. I'm here to tell you that it's not gonna work. But before we get into that, I wanna first start off by talking about Remy Ma. The thing about Remy Ma is I really appreciate Remy Ma, okay? Now, I gotta tell you, I've been one to drag Remy Ma through the mud, run her over, flip her over, toss her, swing a bat at her, kick her, flip her, pull her wig off, yank. Like, I have really done some foul shit to Remy Ma when it comes to the commentary. I've called Remy Ma trash upon trash upon trash upon garbage. I'm not even gonna lie. However, I've grown to like Remy Ma ever since she did her Jason Lee interview. I really seen a different side of Remy Ma in that interview where I'm like, you know what? I respect her. Not to mention Remy Ma is a Gemini. And so I'm a Gemini too. And so a lot of Geminis get such a bad rap for being two-faced, fake, whatever the case may be, multiple personalities, when in reality, we are very loving people, but we just don't have much of a filter. And also, we say what we mean, and we mean what we say. And we can only take too much before going off. And honestly, when it comes to this situation with Nicki Minaj, I personally feel that may have been the case with Remy Ma. I think Remy Ma, at the heart of her, is a very good person. She in this interview, if you haven't seen this interview, honestly, you probably need to see this interview with Remy Ma and Jason Lee. I'm not the biggest Jason Lee fan because I feel like he takes over his interviews and he likes to insert himself because I think he wants to be bigger than what he is. I think he actually rather be the celebrity than actually the interviewer. But if you can stomach Jason Lee for a little bit, then the interview is well worth watching. She talks about how, her and Nicki Minaj had a conversation and how Nicki Minaj actually called her. And they basically had a conversation about, she was on the rise. Nicki Minaj is clearly Nicki Minaj. And the industry was going to try to pit them against each other. And they want to make sure that they never got pitted against each other and they understood what was going to happen. So they were on the same page. They made a pact in so many words that, we're not going to beef. It turned out not to be that. So what I got from Remy Ma in that interview was basically she felt behind the scenes that Nicki Minaj was still doing shady stuff. Nicki Minaj was being very shady. Nicki Minaj was throwing shots at her, just doing a lot of weird things. She didn't really go into too many specifics about exactly what happened. But in so many words, Nicki Minaj was stopping her bags, really kind of stunting her growth. And Remy Ma had got to a point where she was fed up and said, you know what? I'm done. I'm saying what I'm going to say, and it is what it is. And a piece of me, here's the thing, and I'll tell you, and it's not to slight Nicki Minaj in any way, shape, or form, because Nicki Minaj is still the queen of rap to me. However, I know what that's like to kind of be the underdog and have a much more liked individual, or maybe a more popular individual, or a person with a larger following kind of slightly throwing the rock and hiding their hand. And to the fans, it looks like you're the issue because you're the one that is going to call the BS while they look like the victim. Now, do I totally feel like Nicki Minaj just, trashed Remy Ma? No. But do I feel like Remy Ma could have had some truth to what was going on? Maybe she felt like Nicki Minaj was being shady to her behind the scenes? Absolutely. Let me tell you something. The entertainment business is a competitive business. If you don't believe that people are being competitive behind the scenes, you just don't believe it. But it's very competitive. Now, do I believe that Nicki Minaj just tried to end Remy? I don't know. However, I do believe that Remy Ma felt slighted by Nicki Minaj in some way, shape, or form. And probably, she was probably right in her feeling of that. So basically what I got from this was, because I always thought it was always Remy who started it. Now, I don't know, but after listening to it, it almost seemed like Remy was the kind of person who kind of let things slide, and kind of let it build up and build up and build up, and she would throw little shots. Like she did the record with Fresher, and I felt like she was throwing shots at Nicki Minaj. And she did another record, and I felt like she was throwing shots at Nicki Minaj. But then it wasn't until Nicki Minaj did the record with Gucci Mane, Make Love, and then Remy Ma came out with Sheether. And so the narrative was always pushed that Nicki Minaj started everything. In my whole mind, the whole time I'm thinking, well, Remy started it because Remy was busting shots the whole time. Now, if you take Remy's side, it sounds like Remy was getting a lot of shade behind the scenes and wasn't saying anything. And she made mention of it. She said she couldn't say anything because a lot of people was like, you want to go up against her? You want to go up against her? Like, you probably don't want to do this because she's a megastar. But Remy, being the Gemini that she is, she said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going against her. And she did that. And did it backfire on her? I believe it backfired on Remy. I believe she went up against Nicki Minaj, and you know, she suffered a little bit career-wise. However, I think that she's in a good place. I feel like the Sheether was unnecessary, and I don't feel like they're going to be back. They could ever have a relationship back because Remy Ma went and brought in Nicki Minaj's brother, who is currently going through a lawsuit, and so or going through trial for you guys know the story on that. So she brought that up in that 7-minute diss track, and I feel like that was really, really, really low. That was past the music. So I just don't think that there's any coming back from that. Personally, I wouldn't come back from that because you could have said anything else, but you went too far with that. I feel as though Remy Ma kind of feels bad. Like, you know what? I don't hate that girl. I'd rather be cool with that girl, but at this point, it's too late. So what I would tell Remy Ma is, girl, it's pretty much too late. The relationship is done. Y'all not gonna be cool. You don't have to throw any more olive branches at her because Nicki Minaj is very stubborn. And once she doesn't like you, in my opinion, I feel like she doesn't like you and it's done. You're not changing her mind. She felt humiliated. She felt embarrassed. People are saying that Remy Ma, hip hop heads, I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about the main hip hop heads. They're basically giving they're saying that Nicki Minaj got Sheether. They're saying that Nicki Minaj took an L. So with that being said, Nicki Minaj, I don't feel like her ego or I don't think that she would allow any coming back from that, especially when the going idea is that Remy Ma won that rap battle. Now, as far as Nicki Minaj, listen, you know, I love Nicki Minaj. I love Nicki Minaj to death. And I do think that she's the queen. And I definitely think that she has earned her space here. However, if I'm being honest with you, she probably did throw a little shade. She probably did. However, like I said, I don't foresee Nicki Minaj ever wanting to be cool with Remy Ma again. I don't see that relationship happening. I don't see anything going past where they are now, no matter what the case may be, because I feel like Nicki Minaj still throws shade at Remy Ma, and she's not gonna get over it. So this friendship is pretty much done. Remy Ma, you said what you said. You've said it publicly several times that you don't have a problem with her, but unfortunately, it's done. I think it's time to move on. And I would just let it go. I actually like both women. I understand where both of them come from. I do think that Nicki Minaj gets a bad rap because she is the leader. She is the best. She is the top dog. And you know what? You have to, there's a lot of pressure when you are the best. And there's a lot of pressure when you're the top dog. So, and there's a lot of pressure to keep that spot. But I do feel like female rappers should be in more unison. And at the same time, I will say this, and I know most people will be like, well, you're throwing shade at Nicki Minaj, which I'm not throwing shade at Nicki Minaj. We're really honestly being honest. We do have to take in account that yes, it's lonely at the top, and I definitely understand, like, being at the top, you will get a lot of haters. However, it seems as though everybody has like this inside story about Nicki Minaj. So I feel like once and for all, Nicki Minaj should at least address it to the public where she has done some wrong in these situations. Now, leave it up to her. She's never done anything wrong. Everybody just came for her. However, I don't think that that is entirely true. I think that she may have, played a little bit of a role into some of these issues with some of these female rappers, and that's okay. It's competitive. It's a sport, but let's just keep it a stop. that's pretty much that on that. I don't think that they're going to be back cool. I think the relationship is done. I don't think that there's anything that Remy Ma can do to be back in good graces with Nicki Minaj. I think that Remy Ma is a great person. Personality-wise, I think Remy Ma is great. Rapping-wise and rapping ability, I'm not here for it. And let me tell y'all something why I'm here for Remy Ma, because I know y'all are gonna be like, oh, now you like Remy, now you like Remy. No, I like Remy because I understand where Remy's coming from. Remy got fed the F up. Whatever was going on, I know that woman was probably being told, like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't say nothing. And she got to the point where she like, man, F this, I don't care. She keep trying me. And the only reason why I feel like I can relate to that, because I know how I've been in that place in my own life. I try to put myself in people's shoes. I've been that person. I'm a Gemini. I am very reactive. I know when people behind the scenes are kicking me and picking me and picking me, but you always have to be the bigger person because they have a bigger audience and a bigger platform. And then so you look like the one that's upset when in all reality, you're telling the truth. So I know what that's like. So I do sympathize with her to a certain degree. I'm not gonna BS you there. However, there is a way to do things. And so I don't feel like she handled it in the best way. And you know, there's been times that I've been reactional and haven't handled things in the best way. And guess what? I just have to suffer the consequences of it. That is a bridge that's burned and it's gone. And you just have to move on. I think Remy Ma feels bad for the Sheether. I think if she could, she would take it back. I just don't think that Nicki Minaj will ever forgive her for it. So at this point, it's just time to move on. And really, it's time to really get some music going. Remy Ma has talked about how she wanted to do music and things like that, but she hasn't put this album out. And I'm like, girl, you've got this whole record deal with Columbia, but you have not put out any music. And they've already, here I am blaming Fat Joe and everybody else, and they've already given you the check. And really, the reason why there's no music out is because you are the problem. Remy Ma, get it together, please. But yes, so that's my thoughts on that, y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna be saying I'm a Nicki hater. No, but what we need to realize is, listen, where there's right, there's wrong is wrong. And it's fine to have a difference of opinion, and it's fine to really understand, you know, we have to try to understand both sides of a story when we're trying to get down to the solution and the problem and the solution, okay? So, all right, guys, it's your boy Armon. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.